Hi, Deb here from the Quantum Blueprint, and today I'm going to talk about thought forms. We've had a lot of people asking in our groups what's happening when they see shadows out of the side of their eye or they're hearing things go bump in the night. So we're going to cover that today. So as you know, we've talked about before that we're all energy, and energy vibrationally attracts itself. Whatever you're vibrating is what you'll attract. Whoever and what you are is what you will get, not so much what you're thinking about, because we have like anything up to 70,000 thoughts a day, right? So we can't be all those things, but we will vibrationally match our frequency and whoever we're being. So we all have stuff in our subconscious. We've all got past traumas or worries or things that go on. What happens when we go to sleep, in that really deep sleep, is our subconscious comes out to play, and it's attempting to resolve all these problems that are in our subconscious. But while it's doing that, it's emitting a frequency outside of us into that field. So what's going to happen is when somebody has passed, even though they've left the building or retracted their focus, we should say, their body's still vibrating, and that's how it breaks down. So that vibration and that mind chatter that's still going on for a little while after they pass is going out into the field, and it's usually all their regrets, all the things they didn't get to say, all the things they were sorry for, or, you know, the things that they miss doing. That all goes out into the field, and it's energy. It's a thought form. So thoughts become things when they're energized. So what they do is they go looking for a match. So while you're asleep and all your stuff is coming out in that deep sleep, it's going to send a signal out that will vibrationally match what's coming off somebody that's just passed. So this is all about levels of frequency. If it's not in your field, if it's not in your subconscious, it's not going to see you. But if it is definitely going to see you, and it's going to come towards you. Now, anything that's of a negative nature, that is from fear or anger or resentment, is going to need to take energy, because it will dissipate over time. Now, this is where you see those dark shadows out of the corner of your eye. That means it's on its last leg. So it's going to be looking for a battery to plug in somewhere so that it can stay active, because the thought forms are ego-based. They're part of the human experience. They're not part of us as a consciousness or a spirit. So they're earthbound. And they become something when they match with something that can give them life and a form. So as you know, energy doesn't have form. It isn't a physical thing. It's just a vibration or a frequency. But what happens is when it matches with your stuff, it's going to hook into you energetically, and it's going to access your greatest fears, and it's going to boomerang that shit back at you in form of a visual. So you create the thought into a thing by having a thought about it, basically. So if you're being attacked by what you think is a demon, well, it's just a lower vibration, and it's a nasty one, but it's accessing that from your subconscious. So you need to think about, where did I get the visual about what a demon was? You know, where did I learn that? Was it the TV? Was it church? Was it my upbringing? Like, where did you learn that this is what a demon looks like? Because it's just a frequency, it's energy. It doesn't look like anything until you feed it the energy of your greatest fears or your belief systems or lineage paradigms, and it will throw it back at you. So that's what a thought form is. Now, they're going to crash around and make bumps in the night and do all sorts of stuff to try and find that energy. So the quickest way, I would say, to get rid of that is work on the stuff. Work on your subconscious. Do the shadow work. Get rid of anything that's going to vibrationally match that. And it doesn't mean you have to clear everything, because it's impossible. We will be working on our stuff our whole life and still not be finished with what we're doing. But if you can get a certain amount of layers done, enough where your subconscious isn't running amok on you when you're asleep, then that's going to make all the difference. Now, remember, we are not really here. we are energy, we're a collective consciousness, and we're having a human experience. So from the field, we connect to a body. We're way too big to fit in a body. Only a part of us can connect, and it's like we're playing a PS4 game. You know, we pick the narrative, we've got the control in our hands, we're writing the story, we're playing it out to learn about ourselves, to learn about what we don't like, to learn about what's in our subconscious, what our shadow is that we're not seeing and healing. It's all about learning about self, and everyone that comes into our life is going to mirror our stuff, so you need to know that. And it's not about what they're doing, it's about the feeling that you're left with, as we covered before. So you need to raise your frequency to stop this happening, so that you're not pulling in the negative thought forms. Now this can also cause, it almost feels like a paralysis, where you can't yell out, you can't move, and you feel like you're being held down and attacked. God knows I have had plenty of that happen in my past before I met, my teachers, amazing women, police mediums, crisis counsellors / mediums, healers that I worked with for years to get me in order, because I was born with some pretty mind-blowing abilities that I had no control over, and sometimes I still don't have control over them, but I would pull in anything and everything because my boundaries weren't there. I'm 0 degrees Cancer rising, so I'm an open sponge to everything, and that took a long time to fix. So this is what's happening when you hear the bumps in the night. This is who and what you really are, just so you know. And on the next video, we're going to talk about the other side of paralysis, what's causing it, and what you can do about it. I'm Deb from the Quantum Blueprint, and I'll talk to you later.